It's Saturday and I didn't do the farmer's market today, and that's something I'm going to talk to you guys about too. But I've been chipping away at this greenhouse. I've got all my corner posts set now. They're concreted in, and all four corners, and so I've got string line going around really tight. I've got most of my holes dug. I actually have to adjust a couple holes as I screwed it up a little bit. And my plan with this now is I've got that lettuce that you saw at the beginning there. It has to go in like now. So what we're gonna do is Monday, we might even do it tomorrow, we're going to put all of our posts in, and then I'm going to rotary plow this whole, just basically till the hell out of it, but with a tool called the rotary plow, which will get me a really, really deep and sort of passive till. Like, it doesn't mash up the dirt as much as the rototiller does. Needless to say, it'll get real deep, and then we're gonna put out our landscape fabrics, and all of this is going to be Salanova transplants. So the whole greenhouse, we're gonna plant it out before we finish the greenhouse. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I'm pretty sure it'll work, because once we put the trusses up, so we've got one built over there, you can see, they just go up and they'll fit right into these welded joints that I've got gonna have on the end of these posts. And yeah, I think it'll go up pretty easy. One thing that worked out really well is this basil experiment. Like, this basil is pumping. I've already picked it 2 times. It regenerates really quickly. And this was an experiment because most of them, except those ones on the end, and actually except these ones that I just transplanted here, most of them were transplanted with about up to, like, you know, anywhere between 4 and 10 basil seeds in one plug. And I just planted them that way, thinking that what I'll do is it'll be a thin harvest, so it'll get nice and thick real quick. But I wouldn't be able to leave it like this for too much longer, because then they'll start to choke each other out. But I'll harvest them and kind of thin it out as I go, and then I'll just pull out the odd one in a cell, in a plug, every now and then, and that'll create less competition for the others, and they'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So my hope is that I can just thin harvest this for maybe another month or so, and then the predominant plants will take over. But that's kind of what I want, is I want to have a really established basil crop going into winter. That's the experiment. And ideally, I want to have it grown higher than my ledge here before the winter solstice, which I'm sure will be fine, because at that point, or even, you know, on the 2 and 3 weeks before and after it, that's like the darkest time of the year where the sun's lowest in the sky, and I'm going to be getting a longer shadow from this. So I'm hoping that I get it nice and tall, and then it's got lots of light to reach to. So as the title of the video said, I do have some sad news. We have, well, it's not really that sad. It's sad for some people, but we've decided to drop our farmer's market. We're actually no longer going to sell at the market at all. So we were going to finish the season thinking that, and then I would not do it again next year, but we decided just to not do it at all, because we've just got so many projects to do right now on the farm, building of this greenhouse, moving all the packing infrastructure in here. The greenhouse is the main thing, and a variety of other, like, planting overwintered crops. We're going to do some experimenting with cover crops this year. I'm going to go back to growing fall rye, which is something I've done a lot in the past, but haven't done in a number of years, but I think there's a way I can do it. Anyways, we've got a lot of projects, and we're selling all of our stuff right now through our other channels. So our restaurants, our aggregators, distributors, or aggregators and distributors, same thing, and then our restaurants, and then barely having anything to bring to the market, and then, you know, to not bring a lot of stuff to the market and to be there, it costs, right? You got to pay a person to be there, or it's myself, and we pack. It might take us 4 hours to prepare for a market and then be there for 8. So it's a lot of work, and you know, it was a tough decision, but it just economically, from a business standpoint, it made sense to not be there. And as much as I love the farmer's market, I'm a huge advocate for farmer's markets in general, it just doesn't make sense for us to no longer do. So kind of sucks. It's kind of sad. I know there's a lot of customers that were bummed out about it, but I think they understand. They understand that we're going in a different direction. I'm going to be focusing more on education on the farm, teaching people on my farm, running 1-week workshops I'll have more information about that as it develops, but that'll be for next season. I'll probably run 3 or 4 of them. And so it's just kind of trying other things. You know, as long as I've been in this business, it's constantly evolved, and that's what I love about what I do, is that I've been able to shift the market streams I'm selling to, shift the production of the farm, shift the size of the farm. I've been able to do many things that a lot of people don't get to do in business, and I attribute that to being lean. Because our business is very lean. It's small, it's easy to change things around, overhead is low. You know, when you've got a big overhead with a business, it's really risky to try something new, because if it doesn't work, you're immediately losing a lot of money quickly, or you can. So that's been one advantage to urban farming, small scale, but just the way that I've set this up. So it just made sense to do it. So having said all that, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to talk about farmers markets in my content. It's something that I'm a huge advocate for. Farmers markets are one of the best places to start in any kind of business. If you're a craftsperson and you make, say, jewelry, or you're any kind of food producer, or you know, anything like this, farmers markets are full of all kinds of people that are doing awesome stuff. And it's such a great place to start, because you learn so many nuances of operating a business. You learn a lot about yourself and how you like to operate. You learn a ton about customers and people, because you talk to a lot of people throughout the day. And you know, this is one thing I wrote about in my book. It's one thing I will continue to talk about in these videos, as I do more videos about other subjects, is you can, a customer base at a farmer's market is almost like a research and development team, or a focus group, if you will. Like in marketing, they have focus groups. You know, people come and taste Pepsi and Coke or something like that, blindfolded, and they tell you which one it is. You know, things like this, or they just ask you questions about the product. A farmer's market, you can try little things with very little risk all the time and immediately get customer feedback. And that's something that is so great about them. And I really encourage people who are starting a business, whether they're in a farm or, like I said, the other things like crafters or food vendors. It's a great place to get experience. So, you know, kind of went on a little long there, but what I'm trying to say is that I love farmers markets, and I am going to genuinely miss being at a farmers market, but it just made sense for us to do that. So that's what I'm doing here on Saturday, guys. I hope you found that helpful. If you want to see more stuff like this, hit the subscribe button right now. Like and share these videos with your friends, and follow along as I continue to build this greenhouse. We'll be working a little bit tomorrow. Normally we take Sundays off, but we will put in a couple hours tomorrow, get those posts up and get it ready to prep up and plant. Okay, we'll see you next time.